Joining us is comedian Alex Stein. Alex, it's great to see you. It appears there's still a fair bit of tension between the Bidens and Kamala Harris. President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden just blatantly ignored the Vice President as they entered the 47th Kennedy Center Honours. Here's the video. Deliberately making no eye contact with Kamala Harris. What's going on here?
Well, I think it's obvious that Joe Biden chose, not because of a meritocracy, but Kamala Harris was chosen to be the vice president because of DEI. And so he knows that she's not talented. He knows that she didn't deserve to make him step down during the presidential race. And there's bad blood. Jill Biden wearing the all red outfit to vote on election day. I mean, it's obvious that there is bad blood there. And I don't blame him. I mean, once Biden put on that MAGA hat, I smelled, you could smell the blood in the water. And now the fact that he's a lame duck president and Trump's about to come in, I don't even think he has to pretend to be friends with Kamala anymore. And it's just obvious that the negative vibrational energy between those two, they are not friends or teammates at the moment.
You can certainly feel it. President-elect Donald Trump has invited Chinese President Xi Jinping to attend his inauguration next month, according to CBS News. And sources say that Trump invited him in early November, not long after the election win, and it's not clear whether he has accepted the invitation. A Trump transition spokesperson said that world leaders are lining up to meet with President Trump because they know he will soon return to power and restore peace through American strength around the globe. Alex, what's your take here? Do you think we're actually going to see Xi Jinping there?
I think Donald Trump is trying to be diplomatic, but I would like to see him because, they say that there's going to be a war within 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028. They've been talking about Taiwan for forever and that there is a bad blood between America and China. And I think if anybody can actually in the fences, it would be Donald Trump. And you just look at the issues that we're having with Russia and Ukraine. It's very important that we get China to be a friendly adversary. I think they're always going to be an adversary of America, but they need to be a friendly one because we get all of our chips from them. We rely on China for our refrigerators, from our cars. So many electronics we rely on China. So it would not be very prudent to go to war with China. We have to figure out a way where we can somehow benefit, maybe tax them more, tax them less. I don't know exactly what the solution is, but we have to figure out a way to peacefully work with a country as powerful as China. And Donald Trump's trying to do that, and it's obvious.
FBI Director Christopher Wray has announced his resignation following criticism from Republican leaders and Donald Trump himself. Trump has nominated Kash Patel as Wray's replacement, and on Truth Social, Trump wrote, "The resignation of Christopher Wray is a great day for America as it will end the weaponization of what has become known as the US Department of Injustice. I just don't know what happened to him." Alex, what's your response?
No, it's great. I mean, Christopher Wray, when he got pressed about January 6th, if there was any FBI agents, he wouldn't confirm nor deny, which basically confirms it. So the guy is not a fan of Donald Trump. And Donald Trump, let's be real here in America, his first presidency was good. The economy was good, but it ended bad with COVID. He had a lot of bad people in his cabinet and surrounding his cabinet that gave him bad information. So it's very prudent that Donald Trump gets rid of Christopher Wray, and obviously he did by him stepping down, and that Kash Patel gets in, because I know January 6th on the global scale and just looking at it looked really bad, but there's a lot of people that commit worse crimes here in America that get a lot less harsh sentences. And we need to rectify a lot of the people that have been unjustly or over prosecuted for this and given years and years for trespassing. So it needs it needs to be number one, in my opinion, on Donald Trump's list of things to do when he gets in office, is maybe not just do a blanket pardon, but help out the people that were just there peacefully protesting. And you can see the weaponization of our Department of Justice. that needs to end. And I think it does when Kash Patel gets in as the FBI director.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Kash Patel getting in, hopefully. Donald Trump has announced that he was appointing ex-Fox News host Kimberly Guilfoyle as his ambassador to Greece. And it comes amid reports that Donald Trump Jr. and Kimberly are over. What can you tell us?
Well, Gabriella, this is my favorite stuff. You know, I talk about politics all day long, but nothing's better than drama, right? I mean, what's better than drama? And you see that Donald Trump Jr. is now dating someone else, and Kimberly gets appointed to the ambassador of Greece, which has to be a great job. I would love to be an ambassador, especially for a country like Greece. She's probably going to get to go travel there a bunch. So there is something weird in the water. Maybe they do that so that she doesn't have a vendetta against Don Jr., but love is complicated. You know this. I know this. The people that are watching this at home, relationships happen, they end. I don't think that necessarily makes Don Jr. a bad person. And some relationships can end, without there being bad blood. And I hope that's the case here. But I do think it's important that she is now an ambassador. She's still in the Trump orbit, and she's not on the enemy list. And I think that's what you do is you got to keep somebody like that was tight with her family and give them a position like that. And people might not like that because that's kind of like nepotism, but really an ambassador is just, I don't even think it's a real job. I mean, you just kind of communicate with him. You kind of travel. It's not that serious. So I love it. And Kimberly, used to be married to Gavin Newsom. So there's a whole weird, conspiracy surrounding Kimberly. But all I know is I liked her when she was on TV. I like her when she does her speeches. And I think she'll be great traveling to Greece and being ambassador for the United States of America.
Yeah, well, it's a good spot, isn't it? If you're going to be an ambassador to any country, Greece isn't too bad. A new report has found that the attempted assassination of President-elect Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania on July 13 was preventable and should not have happened. The report blamed institutional breakdowns in the Secret Service, as well as failures in security planning and execution, and most notably missteps in securing the building complex where the shooter fired 8 shots. Let's take a look.
I really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Just looking at the footage, of course it was preventable, and it's just wild looking back at that footage, just how close this was to changing the course of history.
And, it really doesn't make sense because I've been to multiple events with Donald Trump, and I've been at events where I was the MC of an event and I was able to talk to Donald Trump. But there's 10 layers of Secret Service that I had to go to even interact with the guy. And so the fact that he was speaking in Butler, Pennsylvania, and that this shooter had the only line of sight that you could even reach him, none of it makes sense. It does not pass a smell test. And I think Donald Trump really should be very careful because now you're seeing that Iran wants to assassinate him. All these other countries want to assassinate him. So I don't think they're going to stop. And I really hope there's not somebody that's trying to be insubordinate or there's, nefarious actions of people within the Secret Service. I really hope and pray that that is not the case. But I just wouldn't be surprised because you and I both know that everybody's corruptible with enough money, with enough influence. Anybody can be corrupted. So I just hope this was more of a wake up call and not a foreshadowing for something much worse.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, in major news in America, 26-year-old man Daniel Penny has been acquitted of homicide for putting in a homeless man in a fatal chokehold. And it was a case that sparked weeks of protests and reignited debates over safety, mental illness and race. Jurors deliberated for 5 days before declaring that Daniel Penny was not guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in the death of 30-year-old Jordan Neely on a New York City subway in May 2023. Now, Daniel Penny has spoken to Fox News.
I'm not a confrontational person. I don't really extend myself. I think this type of thing is very uncomfortable. All this attention and limelight is very uncomfortable, and I would prefer without it. I didn't want any type of attention or praise, and I still don't. The guilt I would have felt if someone did get hurt, if he did do what he was threatening to do, would never be able to live with myself.
And Alex, there are also reports today that Penny's defence team is considering a malicious prosecution lawsuit against Alvin Bragg.
Well, they should. And what's really sad about this is that Jordan Neely was a young guy that had a criminal record, and he had assaulted multiple women between 2019 and 2021. But Daniel Penny was not trying to murder this guy. He was trying to subdue him. Daniel Penny is a veteran. He fought and defended this country. So he's willing to be a hero. And the people that are demonizing him just want a villain. You know, they want to play like they're a victim, when in reality, if you look at the video, it wasn't just Daniel Penny subduing Jordan Neely. There's also an African-American man there, and he was not charged. So my point is, it's a tragic situation. Daniel Penny didn't want to kill him. And when he saw that he was motionless in the video, he stopped. But it's just a bad situation. And when you have a guy that's on a train saying that he was ready to die and that the cops are going to arrest him, Daniel Penny reacted and did what he thought was right at that time. And he could have saved a life by doing that. And it's a very tragic situation. But if they go after Alvin Bragg, I would love that, because New York, the criminal justice system is so corrupt, just the way that they went after Donald Trump. They deserve whatever they get. But it's just an unfortunate situation that Daniel Penny is, even though he got acquitted, he's still not happy about it. You know, you can tell he's not a guy that wants to be in the limelight. And it's like Kyle Rittenhouse. It's just a tough situation when something bad happens like this. It's a lose-lose for everybody.
Yeah, well said. Well, look, we've got to end it on a lighter note. Let's end it with a Joe Biden gaffe. There are plenty of those. Here he is, not really knowing what to say or what to do when his teleprompter stops.
And, you know, one of the things that's going on here, they just turned off my... I'm going to go on. I lost the electricity here. But anyway, one of the things we found is that, you know, we invented the computer chip, size of the tip of your little finger.
5 more weeks. We only have 5 more weeks of this. What do you even have to say? We've seen so many of these clips. What are we going to play next?
Well, it's just crazy how for 3.5 years, the left would just hide the fact that obviously Joe Biden has some sort of cognitive issues. But you know what? I'm team Joe Biden. You know, I never liked him as president, but I'm happy it's his 5 last weeks. You know, he pardoned his son. Is that the right thing to do? You know, his son probably sold secret information to Ukraine and China, but he wouldn't be a good father if he didn't pardon him. So I'm at the point now where I've hated on Joe Biden so much. I'm just going to take it easy on the guy. He deserves to retire. Not a good president. Not all there. I can't wait for him to just go to Delaware and relax on the beach, because that's really what he deserves. That's the unfortunate situation, is that he was propped up to be a phony president, and he's been put through the ringer. So I'm ready for him to retire for his own health. And I have a feeling that once he's not president anymore, he's going to be able to start talking better. He's probably going to be A-okay. It's just very stressful being the president when you have no idea what's going on.
Alex Stein, so great to speak with you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure.